everyone, Diane here. Welcome to my studio. Today we're going to paint a kitten. I think you might call this a Persian kitten. Just going to use a couple of colours, which will be Potter's Pink. I'm also using a colour called Davy's Grey, which is a very, very soft, pale grey, which would be ideal for the kitten. So I'm just moistening my paints at the moment to get them ready to work with, and let's get started. So the kitten has pink on the inside of his ears, so we're going to start off with a little dash of pink in there just to indicate the inside of the kitten's ears. And I should have mentioned we're going to be using a tiny bit of cobalt blue for the shadow, and we're just going to let that run. And then I'm going to be picking up the Davy's Grey, and I'm not going to be mixing this. This kind of goes against my usual method of painting, because I'm not going to mix the Davy's Grey with anything. It's just going to be neat out of the tin. I was talking about this tin of paints the other day on a video that I'm going to be offering to my members when we start our members group. So you'll be able to subscribe to get extra content from me, and in there's going to be a lot of really useful information on how to paint and how to start, and one of the videos I'm going to do, it's already been done, is about what paint colours you should have in your paint box, in your set. And Davy's Grey is one that is absolutely not essential. It doesn't come in there as being one of the critical colours, but I happened to acquire a little pan of it from somebody who'd given up painting, and I'd never used it before. I didn't even know I had it until I came to explore this paint box, this one. And I suddenly found, when I took the box to pieces, that I had this paint called Davy's Grey, and I said to myself at the time, I don't know what I'm going to use that for, but it's a nice soft grey, so I'm sure it will come in handy for something. And then I saw this picture of this lovely little Persian kitten, and I thought, oh, that would work. So I'm just putting in the underlayer here of the grey for this little cat, and just there's not much to say about it really. I can't really say much about the way I'm doing this, except I'm doing it very lightly, and this is the first layer, and I'll come back in a second to darken that up with the crucial places. It worked really well when I did the trial yesterday, but you know how it is. Sometimes you have a bit of a fluky stroke of luck, and even if you've got plenty of experience, sometimes it is the case that you do something first time round and you can never do it again in the same way. So c'est comme ça la vie, as they say over here in France. Right, now the eyes, we need black, and I'm using here a number 5 small round brush, and that's quite a lot smaller than what I usually use. So I'm just going to outline, first of all, that's what we're going to do, is outline the eye. This is not being done with gay abandon, this bit. I have a feeling that is wet, so I'm not going to do that one. We'll just do this one, and I'll come back to the other side. So we're going to do the round like that, and then he has a little nose, as you would expect, with little dark bits there like that, and then a tiny little mouth like that, and down here he's got little pointy claws just showing through. And now I'm going to let him dry. So I'm going to go away and check on lunch. Okay, so now this is dry, and I'm going to outline the second eye as I did the other one a minute ago. So we'll do that first so that that can be drying while we move on to the next step. You will be able to get the sketch for this from the website dianeantone.com, and I suggest that you trace it very lightly and then try to paint as freely as possible inside those lines. Okay, so I'm just going to look at my original here a little bit, and this is the one I did yesterday. So the Davies grey is really good for this, because if you use diluted black, which will give you a grey, then it's going to be a very harsh colour, really. So you don't really want to do that. But this Davies grey is kind of, it's a very soft colour, ideal for fur and so on. So now I'm just putting in the second layer of paint, just in small broken, I was going to say stitches. I've been doing some knitting lately, and it's not broken stitches, are they? They're broken strokes. I'm trying to do 6 things at the same time at the moment, so you have to forgive me if I use the wrong vocabulary. I'm trying to cook and stretch paper, worry about the dog getting through fences, and into the sheep pasture. Not that she would do anything, she loves to hang out with the lambs, and she wouldn't do any harm, but she does rather like to eat their poo. So that's not necessarily a good thing, although I'll tell you what, there's enough poo lying in the field. She's welcome to have some of it. And we have to go around every now and again picking it up, because we're still in the middle of a drought here and nothing's breaking down. So we have to pick up the poo, because the sheep normally go into a much bigger field, but they can't at the moment because it's too dry and we're trying to let the grass grow. And if they're in a very big field, of course the droppings kind of just disappear eventually, but when they're confined to a smaller space, it doesn't happen. So the joys of animal keeping, yes. But it is lovely. We've got this tame lamb, and he comes up for a cuddle. Every time we come anywhere near him, he rushes up. I've never seen anything like it. We've had lambs for about 5 years now, but I've never had one before that was quite so loving. Okay, so there's our first coat of Kitten. My cat Oriole is sitting over there watching the birds out of the window. We don't let him out because of the birds. Oriole, don't get jealous because I'm painting a kitten. Okay, so now the next step, this kitten has got lovely blue eyes, and we're going to pick up some turquoise blue. And I'm just going to put that in there for his beautiful blue eyes. And then we must let that dry before we put the pupils in. And then I haven't painted his little pink nose yet, so I'm back to the Potter's Pink. And just got a little nosy thingamy, what's it there? Okay. And I'm just going to pick up a slightly bigger brush, and I'm going to put a little bit of shadow underneath him, and I'm going to mix a little bit of Potter's Grey together with sorry, Potter's Pink with the grey, and just Just drop him something for him to sit on. And I think I want to strengthen the colour of his ears a bit. And the blue there. And I'm going to have to wait a minute for that, for the blue of his eyes to dry, so I'll be back in a sec. Now I'm going to do the pupils in the cat's eyes. So just picking up some black there, same brush, and they tend to be, what's the word? Like a pointed oval, slitty, something like that. And just darken that a little bit. That's step one. We'll let that dry. Make sure the shape is right. So and maybe we're going to strengthen the shadow here a little bit between his legs. Don't forget that always dries lighter, so it looks too dark when you first put it on. And I always think, ah, but then it dries. Very pale pink near to the mouth. Squirrel, please. And then we need to just darken the top half, very delicate, darken the top half of the eye. A little bit there. You could drop tiny smidgen of turquoise in on one side. And then we have to think about his whiskers, and I'm just going to use a sharp pencil for that. So we'll put the little doobies there, and then and the good thing about using pencil for whiskers is if one gets bent like that, which is bound to happen, you can just rub it out. Do it again. So there we are, one kitten. There's the one I did last night. Very similar. one's not quite dry yet. That one is. So they could come from the same litter, couldn't they? Okay, so that's that for today. Thanks very much for being with me and watching me do this. Don't forget you can get this sketch from dianeantone.com, plus of course all of our other things that are over there for your enjoyment. So I will say goodbye for now. Give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now. Bye.